We got you. All right, everyone. We are now joined by Kyle Busch, runner-up in the number 51 Kyle Busch Motorsports Toyota. Kyle, tell us a little bit about your run, how you felt in that truck, having not been in a truck yet since the break, and just a little bit about your night.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't help showing up to the racetrack with broke parts on your truck. So that was a problem from the get-go. Didn't have our right front stopper right, so we were all over the splitter. So we came in and didn't know that it was broke, so had to fix it with a makeshift piece, and it was way too high. And then we tried to fix it, and just never was right. So we were out in the left field the whole night. Never really had a great feel for the truck, a great driving truck, and just salvaged what I could.
All right, well, we are going to open up the floor for questions. As a reminder, click the participants tab there at the bottom and raise your hand, and I will get to you. We'll start off with Bob Pockers with Fox Sports. Go ahead, Bob.
You'd won 7 truck races in a row, so, I mean, no, it might be hard to be greedy, but is this one frustrating because I guess you feel it's self-inflicted?
Self-inflicted, threw it away. Yep. Had 6 months to prepare and screwed it all up.
And did you see Chase Elliott he did one of your bows there on the racetrack? Did you see it? And what do you think?
So imitation is the strongest form of flattery or something. I don't know what it is, but that's cute.
Thank you.
All right, our next question is going to come from Claire Lang. Go ahead, Claire.
That was a good quote. I will say that Chase, when he came in here, said that it was sort of impromptu to do the bow, and he hoped nobody would be upset. It's an excellent quote. You're not upset, right? For the record.
I don't know what he did, but he did it. Whatever, it's fine. Yeah, cool.
Talk about Wednesday night and what you expect now to roll into Wednesday night at Charlotte.
No telling. I don't know. Our cup cars haven't been that strong this year. We have been somehow formulating some decent finishes out of them, but we haven't been in position to win whatsoever. I think we've only led 14 laps this whole year. So we've got to get stronger as a group, as a whole, and get ourselves to where we need to be. So based off of the other night, I would assume we're going to be 5th to 10th.
And it's always fun to watch you race in the Truck Series, and thank you.
All right, our next question is going to come from Sterling Siemens with KCOU. Go ahead, Sterling.
Kyle, you had obviously gone from the back to the front and then only to encounter more problems. But climbing your way back up through the field, and at the end there with Chase, do you think lap traffic had anything to do with possibly getting back up to Chase as the race wound down?
No, lap traffic didn't have anything to do with it. Our truck was just really bad and very poor handling. Should have been way better and way faster than it was to make up lost time. But also, our pit strategy, we got off on that. We basically handed Chase, I think, 20 positions there on our final pit stop. So that'll seal in your own fate as well, too.
Thanks, Kyle.
All right, and our next question will come from Jared House with frontstretch.com. Go ahead, Jared.
Hi, Kyle. I have a question for you. With this tire compound here too, with the leaders not, we saw with the Cup Series, whoever got the lead was holding it too. Was the Truck Series was a lot harder to hold the lead with older tires compared to like Xfinity Cup Series, where we saw who stayed out would just keep the lead. Truck Series, it was really hard. Was that tire compound in effect there? Was it like the PJ1 lay down?
Yeah, so the tires are probably a little bit hard for the trucks here, just because the trucks aren't going that fast, so they could probably be a tick softer. But if they were softer, you would just have more throttle on time. But it seemed like when you would slip one end, you could slip the front or the rears. So there was a lack of grip at a couple moments of the race. So we just didn't have our truck adhered to the track near as well as we needed to, and that was our main problem.
All right, thank you, Kyle.
All right, and our next question will come from Lee Spencer. Go ahead, Lee.
Thank you. Specifically, Kyle, what was wrong with the car, or the truck rather? What broke? What pieces specifically broke on the truck?
We have some right front travel limiters, so the splitter won't crash the ground. That broke essentially at the start of the race because I never even felt it try to hold it off the racetrack. It just crashed the racetrack on the first lap. So we had issues right from the get-go with that. And it's crazy because these trucks, the engineers and the crew chiefs and the people back at the shop have the least amount of money, the least amount of resources, but yet have to work the hardest and have to be the smartest, it seems, of all the garages, because we're not allowed, shock springs and bump stops, essentially, is what those are, and packers and that sort of stuff. So we're playing with really, really weird and non-accustomed ways of being able to set these things up, and ours broke.
You were talking about perhaps a drive shaft issue. You were talking about a vibration, I guess, midway closer to the final stage, I guess. And did that even factor in?
It didn't factor in, but it was there the whole race. We've had drive shaft vibration problems, something in the drivetrain for 5, 6, 7, 8 years. I don't know what the problem is, but we can't seem to fix it. And tonight was really, really bad, worse than it's been in a while.
And finally, you got to race a little bit with Zane Smith. What can you say about the kid?
He did good. He was fast. He made some bold moves and ran well and didn't put himself in too bad of a spot. When he made the 3-wide move down the backstretch and threw it into turn 3, it was probably something I would do. And he did a good job holding on to that spot, but I was able to still get by him and go on and drive away and try to chase down Chase, but just didn't have enough.
Appreciate your time, champ.
All right, and our final question is going to come from Ashley McCubbin. Go ahead, Ashley.
Running all 3 races across the board the past 3 nights, what has been your favorite package of those ones to have ran?
Probably the Xfinity cars, I guess. That was the most fun, and the cars were really evil and driving all over the place, and tires were bouncing a little bit, so it definitely lacked some downforce, that's for sure. But you had some recovery if you ran the top and was able to chase down the guy in front of you. The Cup car package, you just kind of get boxed into not being able to follow the guy at all. I exited turn 2 right up behind Ross Chastain last night and didn't wash out and didn't have a problem and was able to stay with him, versus the Cup cars. You get that close to somebody and you're going to crash the wall. So same with the trucks. Trucks are really, really bad with that aero wake and the front ends of the trucks blowing out from underneath you when you get too close to the car in front of you.
All right. Well, Kyle, thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations on the finish, and we will see you again tomorrow at Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Yep.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. As a reminder, all of the audio and video from tonight's video conference will be on NASCARmedia.com. And thank you so much for hanging out with us. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Day 4 tomorrow. See ya.